Brian here with Sam Healey
Hello,
from
hello.
Dice Tower. We're at
How's
West
it going?
Texas Tabletop Con, and we got to steal him for a minute just to ask him some deep, pointed questions about the board game hobby, and
Get ready for some shallow answers.
So, excellent. Well, I guess you know, I heard him earlier getting all philosophical over here, but I kind of wanted to take this a different route. We got this convention that's going to hopefully will fill up tomorrow, and we've seen a lot of different, I don't know, changes in our hobby, a lot of new I guess things come out that has made it more accessible to people. So as getting into this hobby, you're a newcomer getting into this hobby, what I don't know, what advice would you give to somebody who's just starting out today?
Probably the best advice I guess I could give you is stay with what you like, and don't think that you have to like what everybody else is liking. That's one of the things that I guess I get. You know, I got pegged with the name Army of One real quick, because usually if I'm liking something, Tom and Z aren't liking it very much, or it's not always that way. We all like a lot of similar games, but stay true to yourself. And I'm not trying to be overly mushy here. You will overthink yourself out of a lot of enjoyment if you think you have to like all the games that everybody else is liking.
Yeah.
You just don't have to do that.
It's kind of like that peer pressure moment when
you're
like, is there something wrong with me because I don't like this game, or
right,
I want to play
exactly.
something else instead?
It's the hotness on BGG, and I hate it.
Yeah.
Well, that's okay. There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
So that's probably the one piece of advice I would give somebody just starting out.
Do you think there's any other, like, I guess, barriers of entry into, especially something so big where there's so many games out there?
Yeah.
So how do we whittle through that for X person that doesn't have any understanding? Is the game your channel would be one, right?
Yeah. I mean, there's a lot of podcasters out there that are doing board gaming podcasts, and Dice Tower is one of them. Hub Meeple's another. Heavy Cardboard is another. You guys were talking to them earlier. There's a lot of different kinds of podcasters that are out there. So listen to a bunch of them. Don't just focus on one, because really you're only getting one view of the hobby. Really, I mean, if you have multiple views within that one channel, well, then that's pretty cool. But more often than not, you're really just getting a very select group of people and their opinions on games, and that's not the best.
That's one of the things I enjoy most about y'all's channel, is that the three core reviewers in there, y'all are just so different in what y'all like.
Yeah.
And it's funny because in our group, we're also many, we'll say stuff like, yeah, you're more like we really, y'all are the stereotype now. You're more like a Sam. Oh, you're more like a Z. How could you like that game? Z doesn't like that game. How could you like that? Because you're Z, And so anyway,
I got you.
a little bit of celebrityism there for you guys.
No, that's cool. That's cool.
Is there anything in the hobby that you're excited about seeing, like, growing and changing? Any new things that you're liking right now?
I really like how co-op games are kind of exploding.
Okay.
I really do. Now I'm not one to shy away from competitive games.
Yeah.
But
Has that always been your niche, the co-op, or is that something that's kind of developed over time?
I guess it has kind of developed. The first one that I really started playing the most was the Lord of the Rings co-op game way back when from I guess that was that Reiner? I don't think it was. I can't remember I'm horrible with designer names.
Sure, yeah.
But and that was the first one where you're all taking up different hobbits and you're going through the track, and that was the first one that really kind of opened it up for me. And then Shadows over Camelot came out, and then other kind of hybrid type games like Spectre Ops came in, where it's all against one, that type of thing. I really enjoyed that a lot because sometimes you just don't want to be competitive.
Yes.
You just want to chill out and be together on something.
And we wouldn't even call that like a mechanic so much, because you can have mechanics within the co-op.
Correct.
That's almost a whole genre.
Yeah.
In a way.
Yeah, it is.
So, which is like, I don't know. I just realized that. So.
Cool.
Do you ever find? Okay, so you're reviewing these games, and you as a reviewer now, as a professional, how well do you think you have to know this game before you start giving your thoughts on it, and you go and tell people, whether you think this is worth their money or not?
It depends. One of the things that we usually say is that it depends on the game.
Okay.
Some games are a lot more harder to get a handle on than others.
Okay.
So, I mean, you could play a 15, 20-minute card game once, maybe twice, and you're good to go.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you play Twilight Imperium 3 once, I don't think. Yeah, you're barely scratching the surface, right? I don't think you're qualified, so to speak. I think it's still funny that you're calling me a professional, but because I don't really see myself that way.
Sure.
I'm just another gamer.
Sure.
But I guess the whole point of it would be you got to play the game until you're comfortable with your knowledge of it.
Sure.
And now I will say this, because I've reviewed games in the past and I hated them. And I played it twice, 3 times, hated it successively, you know, and I tore it up. And people said you didn't play it enough.
Okay.
You know.
Do you think that was true? Did you go back and?
No, I didn't, because I know further plays of that game will not change my mind.
Okay.
It will not change my mind. I will not like that game because it's not the kind of game for me.
Gotcha. Yeah.
You know, so, and that's another thing.
Back to your first point, you know,
Yeah.
you just.
Exactly. Yeah. That's another thing that I don't think reviewers do enough, and it's something that I know I didn't used to do enough, but I'll say in my reviews, this wasn't for me, but I know that there are going to be people out there that like this game, so give it a try. I tell people always try before you buy, try before you write it off, whatever, because you never know.
Yeah, yeah. So I'm just imagining this in my head. So what does it look like when you're sitting here and you have to play this game and you know you're just like, man, I don't want to rip this apart, but anyway, it's just so difficult sitting here playing a game you know you don't like because you know you're gonna have to sit and review it. So
well, there are sometimes you start frothing at and you're like, oh, I'm gonna tear this game apart because I'm so tired of games like this.
Yeah.
You know, but then there are times where I'm like, oh, dude, I know.
Because you want to be fair to the game.
Yes.
You want to be fair to the game.
And I don't want to turn people off because they might really enjoy the game if they go give it a whirl. So I've never the frothing at the mouth bit happened recently, and I specifically played it more, and I'm glad I did.
Okay.
Because the second and third plays of the game, the first play I was like, oh, I wanted to chuck it. I really did. But the second and third plays of the game, I was like, okay, I still don't like it, but I see how other people can like this.
Gotcha.
And I see how it would work in certain situations and all that stuff. So, yeah, sometimes I never really want to give a negative review.
Right.
But in order, for integrity's sake, you have to.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's you know, a responsibility you have to people who are following you and watching you, you know, so absolutely, you know. Yeah, I've had to have that conversation a couple times with emails like, I think you're a nice guy, but, you know, but this isn't about you and me. This is about people that might take away something that we say.
Right.
So integrity is a huge issue in that.
Exactly.
Okay, no more work. How much time do you get to play games not work-related? Like, do you get to do that very often anymore?
Every once in a while. I mean,
y'all work there's a lot of work that goes into it.
There is. I mean, usually more often than not, when we go to a game night or something like that at the stores that we go to, we're going to get games played that we have to review.
Right.
That's the reason we're going there.
Yeah.
But every once in a while, you know, at the end of the night, once we've I'll usually go in with like maybe 2 or 3 games that I need to get played so that I can get them reviewed. And then once those are done, we can play something else. And so it's kind of give and go. But I mean, my kids ask to play games all the time that we just own, that I don't have to review. And so we get to do that every once in a while. But I would say, I mean, I don't want to put an hour limit on it, but like maybe once or twice a week.
Good.
Usually. But there are times, you know, just being, you know, honest and you know, straightforward, where it's like, you know, I just don't want to play a game tonight. You know, I'd rather just sit and watch Bones or something like that.
So obviously this has even changed how you enjoy the hobby, just your involvement in it?
Yes.
To a big degree.
Yes. So yes, it has. A lot of the times we enjoy playing games, and there's that whole
no
thing
negativity meant or anything, but
there's that. The brand new shiny has just showed up at the Dice Tower headquarters, and we want to break it open. We want to get it out and get it done, and that's always there.
Yeah.
But there are times where it's just like, I'm done playing games today.
Yeah.
I'm done playing games this week. Let's do something else.
Yeah.
And that happens.
Sure.
And sometimes it depends on how my family's feeling as well.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. So what's next for you guys? What do y'all got coming up in the coming year? Any exciting news for Dice Tower and even just Sam Healey, just your own?
Well, there's nothing really exciting about me, but Dice Tower's Tom's always trying to figure out how he's going to grow and how he's going to do what he's going to do next and all that kind of stuff. So we're already starting to think about our Kickstarter for next year. We're already starting to contact publishers about what promos we're going to have and not have, and there's some pretty cool things coming up. And that
You can't reveal too much.
I can't say much,
Okay.
just because I don't know what he would want me to say and not
Sure.
say.
Oh yeah. Totally.
There's some good
there's
promos
some stuff
coming.
to
There's some
come
good
check
promos
out,
coming
so
this year. Yeah.
And obviously just check back with the channel and find out.
Yeah.
So Dice Tower's on YouTube. You guys got the website.
Yeah. Dicetower.com.
Yep. And then of course you guys are just a staple in our hobby. Like we really depend on y'all. So just thank y'all for all y'all do. And so thanks Sam Healey, Dice Tower, and see y'all.
Adios.